Bienvenidos a esta presentación del pretérito. This presentation is going to talk about verbs that are spelled like leer and huir and why they are irregular in the preterite tense. First, verbs that are spelled like leer present a problem because when we take off the er or the ending, we are left with a strong vowel. The strong vowels are A, E, O. U and I are the weak vowels. If you say to yourself the sentence, you and I are weak, it will help you remember which are the weak vowels and which are the strong vowels. Leí is regular. We add I with an accent mark to say that I read. Yo leí. Leíste is irregular. While it may look regular, the reason it is irregular is because the I has an accent mark added to it. The reason is that we have a strong vowel combined with a weak vowel. In order to hear the weak vowel, we need to help it out by adding an accent mark. Leíste is how we need to pronounce this. Without the accent mark, it would be pronounced leíste. The E would dominate. The bottom conjugation, this third person singular that is, has a Y added to it. L-E-I-O would have three vowels in a row, and while this isn't an issue in Spanish necessarily, for the purposes of these verbs in the preterite tense, third person singular form has a Y. The nosotros form is irregular because it picks up an accent mark, and it has an accent mark for the same reason that leíste has one, because of the strong weak vowel combination. And finally, leyeron picks up a Y in the third person plural form for the same reason that it has a Y in the third person singular form. The verbs like leer are irregular basically because of the Y in the third person singular and the third person plural, but also because of the I with an accent mark in the tu form and in the nosotros form. Another group of irregulars is verbs that are spelled like the verb huir, which means to run away or to flee. When you take the ending off of a verb like huir, you're left with a weak vowel, which presents the same issue in the third person, singular and plural forms where it uses a Y, but the accent mark issue is a little bit different. Ui is regular. Uiste does not have an accent mark. Huyó picks up a Y. Huimos does not have the accent mark. And huyeron picks up the Y in the third person plural. Other verbs like huir are incluir, destruir, construir. Practiquemos. My dad built. Mi papá construyó. They ran away. Is ellos huyeron. Both of these examples have a Y because they are third person forms. I believed, yo creí, is actually regular. You familiar, tú destroyed, tú destruiste. This one is also regular. It does not require an accent mark because the U and the I are both weak vowels, so you can hear them equally. We fell. Nosotros nos caímos. The I requires an accent mark because of the strong weak vowel combination. And finally, Rosa included. Rosa incluyó with a Y for the third person singular form. Gracias por ver esta presentación y te deseo mucho éxito.